So Packers training camp is now about 5 days away, starting on Monday, and we still have not gotten news of a Jordan Love extension being finalized. And if you guys saw my video earlier today, according to Bill Huber of Sports Illustrated, Jordan Love plans to report today because quarterbacks and rookies and some specific veterans have to report for camp today, which is Wednesday. So per Bill Huber, it sounds like Jordan Love is reporting today for Packers camp, which I think is a good sign because if I tweeted earlier, if Jordan Love and his representation felt that the Packers and him were too far away, they needed to do something to try to put pressure on the Packers, he could have decided not to report today, which could have, maybe put some pressure on the Packers. But it seems like that, wasn't something that Jordan Love and his agent wanted to do. And then earlier today, a little bit earlier, a few hours back, Adam Schefter was on a radio show on ESPN Milwaukee called Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and he gave some thoughts regarding Love and the contract situation. So let me show you guys this clip right here, and then I'll give you some of my thoughts. Here it is on YouTube.
Well, the Packers veterans report to camp on Sunday. That is the day that they report, which means they're on field next week. And I think that the two sides continue to talk. And I think that eventually they're going to figure out a way to get this done. I don't know that they are close to making it happen right at this moment. I still think that there's a small chance it gets done in the next week or two. My guess would be, based on current events, that the deal is not done by the time they report to camp. Again.
So Schefter is saying he thinks there's a small chance it's done by Monday. I had said earlier today, I was having a feeling that it was going to get done by Monday, and it still possibly could. He said there's a small chance, but whatever information Adam Schefter has is making him believe that there's still maybe a ways to go when it comes to the negotiation, because he thinks there's a small chance of it happening by Monday. So here he continues.
I think they would like to get it done. Jordan Love would like to get it done. Everybody would like to get it done. And my understanding is, again, small chance it gets done here in the coming days, which means there's a chance, not out of the question. But I think the thing to keep in mind here is that the parameters have kind of been set. We've seen some of these other quarterback deals. We've seen the deals that have gone around. And again, as I've mentioned here before, and I'll mention again now because I believe it's worth pointing out, it's easy for the Green Bay Packers to say, no, you don't deserve $55 million a year, which is what Joe Burrow is getting when he's taking that team to the Super Bowl right now, former number one overall pick. You're not quite, we love you, but you're not Joe Burrow. But when Trevor Lawrence comes in at 55, that argument goes out the window because Jordan Love has played as well, if not better, than Trevor Lawrence.
Better.
And so I think the number starts there, probably comes in ultimately north of there, and it's the Green Bay Packers having to get comfortable with the idea of where the numbers are before a deal could get done.
Adam, in your experience with these types of deals, doesn't it get close to contentious time, though? Especially from the player? I mean, don't they run the risk of players on the team, because the players are always going to side with the player, right? Don't they run the risk of one of these guys, Preston Smith, coming and saying, I don't know why they're not paying him. This is ridiculous. You see what I'm saying?
Know what? I understand. I don't think so. Look, I think people know that it's a huge deal. And I think people know and are smart enough to say, look, Green Bay's been talking to him. They're trying to get him signed. They want to get him signed. It's not like you're going to have Preston Smith or another player come out and say, I can't believe they're not taking care of our guy here. Like, we're not at that point yet. That's another time. Like, it's still early in this process. It's still early. He's got a year left. Do you hear anybody in Dallas saying anything about Dak Prescott like that? Do you hear anybody in Miami saying that about, like, it's not really an issue. And I also think, and Chew, you could answer this, I think players' business is players' business.
Yeah.
I don't think that comes up anymore amongst other players. You don't get other players talking out generally on other people's business. Okay, if it becomes prolonged and it becomes personal and it becomes an issue, yes, that could happen. But we're not at that point right now with Jordan Love and his situation.
So Adam,
Okay, so basically, if you guys missed the first part of what Adam Schefter just said, because I'm alive, he said that he thinks basically there's a small chance it gets done by Monday. And so whatever information he's hearing, he's saying there's a chance, but it sounds from that kind of comment, you would think that it may be that Jordan Love and the Packers still have maybe a little bit of ways to go when it comes to, getting on the exact same page to where they can, feel comfortable with Jordan Love signing this contract extension. And the thing so far with Jordan Love this offseason is he hasn't, caused any kind of problem or done any kind of publicity type stunt to try to put pressure on the Packers. We've seen it a lot, with Kyler Murray a couple years ago, removing the team from his social media bio. Players do tons of different things nowadays to try to, force the team's hand. But I think this is a different situation just because Jordan Love is a top tier talent where some of these other guys, they're really good players, but they're not quite at, Jordan Love's level, in my opinion. And just from, the years of watching Jordan Love and the kind of person he is, it doesn't seem like he would try to cause a lot of drama. Now, I think if, let's say the Packers and him were far apart, does he, practice at training camp on Monday with the risk of potentially being injured? That's a question and something we'll have to watch if there isn't some kind of deal done by Monday. But right now, we're still sitting back here on July 17th waiting for a deal to be announced. And we heard Brian Gutekunst a couple months back say that, he hopes that they can get a deal done by training camp. Yesterday, Jordan Love was asked that question. If you guys saw that video I shared of Jordan Love where, they ask him, do you want to have a deal done by training camp and something like that? And he stopped from answering by whoever is there with him in that interview. And so we're still waiting, but Schefter thinks there's a small chance it's done by Monday, but there's still a chance nonetheless. And so we're going to keep an eye on this one. If you guys want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below. Let me take a look at some of your guys' comments here because I am live. I haven't been live in a long time. Perma, what's up? How's it going? Good to see you back here. Andrew Fairs, does he mention anything about when other QB deals might get done by? Tua, Dak, etc. Yeah, a little bit later in this interview, he does talk about that, and he said that his prediction was that if any of those guys were to get a deal done first, he thinks it would be Jordan Love. So for whatever reason, it sounds like maybe Jordan Love in those negotiations are a little bit ahead of where Tua and Dak are potentially. And he was also asked, what's holding the contract back from officially getting signed, and he said it's a money issue, which makes sense. It's probably just he said it's figuring out the guarantees, and so that's probably where the Packers are, and Jordan Love are still trying to figure that out when it comes to the guarantees. And as Schefter said, he thinks it's going to get done before the season. I agree. I don't see why it doesn't get done. I think the Packers want Jordan Love for the long haul. Jordan Love, of course, wants to be in Green Bay for the long haul, and so it's just a matter of time before I think we see this deal get done. Here we have from Rocket Knight. Jordan should not sit out. Jordan just isn't there yet. Let's see this year. Yeah, I get it from Jordan Love's perspective. If you're about to make, $200 million, you don't want to risk getting injured. But he practiced in OTAs and minicamp, and so maybe he's willing to practice in training camp even without a deal. We'll see on Monday, I guess, if a deal isn't done. Martin911. Jordan knows he's going to get paid, and it's going to be a lot of money. He knows what's and when it's going to happen, or at least the minimum he's going to get paid. There's no need to stress or worry. Yeah, I don't think there's any need to worry on either side. Rocket Knight says, Packers should not rush signing Jordan Love. They should not listen to the media because they made this whole thing about huge contracts. LOL. Yeah, I mean, the Packers don't technically have to sign Jordan Love because he is under contract for this season. I just think that it's better to sign him now than wait after the season, which I don't even know if Jordan Love would be okay with, but it's better signing him now than waiting until later and, Dak Prescott gets a massive deal, Tua gets a massive deal. You'd rather beat those guys, and so it's best for the Packers if they get this deal done as soon as possible. Andrew Fairs, that's relief. Jordan Love should be first up out of the remaining QBs. Yes, I agree. The Shield, I've learned to not believe anything Schefter has to say. Let's not forget the lie he made up about Aaron Rodgers during the draft that spread like wildfire. I still think Schefter has a lot of good information. He has a lot of sources. I guess you have to sort of debate, who the sources are. Are they agents of players trying to get out certain narratives, which I think can be true from time to time, but I still think he's a solid reporter. Rocket Knight, I wouldn't even sign Jordan soon. I'll wait until the end of the season because what better place would J Love be, LOL. You could wait to sign Jordan Love, but let's say he has the same year. Like if he plays the way he did to end last season, 18 touchdowns, 1 interception over the final 8 or 9 games, I mean, he's going to get even more money. So I think you're better off signing him right now if you believe he's that guy because you're going to get a discount not only with him not playing, but also before these other quarterbacks sign. From Beast Bumblebee, I get Jordan's POV, but I really hope Green Bay doesn't give him some 5-year, $300 million contract after 1 season. If they were to do that amount of money, which is $60 million per year, which I don't think is going to happen, I think he can jump Trevor. I think he should jump Trevor Lawrence because he's better than Trevor Lawrence. And at that point, I could see 56, 57. I feel like him becoming the highest paid quarterback is not out of the realm of possibilities. I think it's somewhat likely. We'll sort of keep an eye on that one. But that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys soon with any other